Nigga, we ain't gotta be nice. Nigga, we ain't gotta sell drugs. Nigga, we really rock right, nigga. Nigga, we truly godlike, nigga. Nigga, we been building space stations. Nigga, we are the United Nations. Nigga, the globe is too small, nigga. Niggas will always run y'all, nigga. Nigga, we are worth support, nigga. Nigga, we really are important, nigga. These black people, we are important, we are worth support. You are watching the Elevation Sessions, based on my book, 200 Years from Niggas to Gods, a guide to becoming a mature nation. This right here, this is how we move from raw potential to real power. And that means knowing more than just how to dream. That means knowing how to move smart. So chapter 6 is not just about the courtroom law, it's about life law. Contracts, boundaries, rights, structure, so we don't just talk about freedom, we live in it. And the day I'm building with my homeboy Ken, we went way back to middle school together. He was always a conscious brother, and when it came down to have conversations about growth and structure, I wanted him on it. So thanks, Ken. Thanks for showing up.
I appreciate that, man. No, I was impressed with the just the manifesto you produced. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, appreciate that.
I couldn't help but think if, you know, my 18-year-old self needed to be on that. You know what I mean?
Right, right. That's
Yeah.
what I wish I was back then.
Right, right. Hey,
Yeah.
let me I really enjoyed the book. It's like it was one of those things where I didn't disagree with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everything made sense. Now,
Yes.
the one thing I felt it was needed
Talk to me.
for me,
Yeah.
being a little undisciplined and knowing that at 18 I was far from being disciplined, but I had a lot of discipline at 18 in other areas, so it's hard to say how I would have how I really would have received it. But I really think that
Exactly.
this
Our
this course
18-year-old self was something different.
was that
I said yes, because our 18-year-old self was something different.
right. I think one thing this discourse could really benefit from is a workbook. You know,
Mm.
that way that you could document progress. Like, it's one
Show
thing.
you, show your part. Well, that was, I think that was one of the things I was trying to think when I was saying you got to write more. You do got to
Right,
do some
yeah,
journaling more. You do need
right,
to put some stuff down more so that you can think. And that was also one thing I tried to do with the contract at the end, so you
right,
can, you know what I mean, have a contract to yourself.
right, right. And I just think that like multiple streams of income, okay?
Right,
Okay, it's like, okay, I need to get that. But then I can see myself saying, okay, I got an eBay, I got my 9 to 5, I got my
right.
hustle, just so I can
You
have
got it.
proof. Check it off
Right.
almost. You know, just so I could check it off, even like knowing your neighbors. For me, my translation was travel. You
Right,
know, expose.
right.
So, like, let's say it was a section for knowing your neighbors. Like, what neighbors do you wish to? What continents? And you know what I'm
There
saying?
you go. I mean, it's your neighbor, but your neighbor is big.
Your
It
neighbors.
can be
The
it can
world
be,
is as
it's
big as
both.
right. The world is as big as or as small as you make it. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
I like
Correct.
to shrink the earth. Make it. I always have this concept: shrink the earth. Ain't
Correct.
nothing too far. Shrink the earth.
Man,
You
when you
know,
going everywhere, the earth will
going
become too small.
right.
The earth will become small.
Right, because when you don't go nowhere, it looks huge.
Yeah. You stuck right here.
Well, you stuck
But yeah,
right
that was
here.
definitely part of, like I said, the getting to know your neighbor was to understand like different cultures, go travel, go see the world, go
Yeah.
see different things. Just understand that we all just trying to make this a better place for the generation behind us, which is our kids. And if you ain't
Yeah.
got none, just the people behind us.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. I appreciate that. It's but so overall follow through after the book. For me, 18, that's why I said if I wrote it, something like this, even as 18-year-old understanding it, the follow through is crucial. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And just to be
Yes.
able to document progress, self accountability. For me, maybe
Yes,
I'm old school. I just like to
sir.
read and see things. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So,
But
like, do you think we were ever really taught how to protect ourselves, not just
no,
physically, but legally? Do you
no,
think we were ever taught
not
that?
not on the level that's like truly functional in society today. Like I think every brother, especially when you start driving, you need to know your rights. Like
Correct.
like can they search your car? Are you being detained?
Correct.
It's almost like an OG needs to sit down, and I got three sons. I need
Oh,
to sit
congratulations.
down with, my old one is growing, but he's grown, but I need to sit down and have that talk about how serious this is. You know what I'm saying? And you
Hell
need to
yeah.
trust, and it's a game, and
Right.
knowledge is power. So you got to know the rules. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And
Yes.
hope that it works for you, because they bend the rules all the time. But a good start is to know your legal rights, your legal status.
Correct. I mean,
Absolutely, man.
because like, we talk about all the things I talk about in the book as far as getting to know your neighbor, mastering the trade,
Right,
business, finance. But again,
right,
that that pen and that legal system will take all that away if you ain't up on it.
right,
You'll build a whole bunch of things and on the wrong land just because you ain't figured it out, and that one pen swipe will take your whole life savings away.
right.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So that's why, like I say, we got to take at least 20 years to figure out and understand that penal code so we
Yeah,
can really be protected. Because
right.
that legal system is the battlefield. And
It
if you
is.
don't know the rules, you already lost. That was a
Right.
quote from the book. And that's when I was like,
That's what the book said. I remember that. You
yeah,
already
you know what I'm
lost if you
saying?
don't know the rules. You know what? And it's almost like just to be legally aware. Because you're
Correct.
gonna find yourself in so many different situations, whether it's personally, socially, criminally. You know what
Correct.
I'm saying? And you need to understand that what are the possible legal ramifications or protections or benefits that are available to you in that situation? Because it might help you, it might prevent you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's a
Correct.
lot. It's a lot. So you got to be able to just legally be aware legally. Like, okay, I want to
Correct.
do this. I want to buy a house. Okay, like I bought a house, and one thing I didn't do was get it surveyed. You know,
Uh,
even though I don't have an issue with it, but the neighbors do. You know
right.
what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, I could have
And then,
saved so much bread just to put that in escrow
right. So
and
you
all
know,
that
so now
little
you know this is my line.
right. And I know what
Hey,
I could do within my lines.
correct. Because hey,
Yeah,
that rebuilding the fence line, sometime man, that can get real sticky.
right, right,
You know,
exactly. And that's
it
kind
get
of like what
real
I'm going
sticky.
through. I want to put one up, and now he want to question it. It's like, all right, like you ain't questioned it for like you've been here for 20, 30 years, but now you want to question it. So
Right,
it's stuff like that. But
right,
just moving moving with legal awareness. Brothers, because a lot of these YNs, they out here moving, not
right.
knowing. Like some of these people don't even know the laws have changed, and they out there stealing like it's cool. You know what I'm saying? They thought it was 2023. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Because them days are over. Hey, man, them, like you say, them YNs, man.
Man,
Right.
it's like
So
a
do you feel
virus.
like our people sometimes like do you think they avoid structure because they kind of associate it with restriction instead of freedom? Like what you think is something that's holding our people back from really going in on learning that legal system?
Think I don't know if structure. I don't know. I think it's because it hasn't been passed down properly. It's like these are things really these are things really that your father should sit you down and talk to you about. Like imagine you
Yes,
ain't got
sir.
no dad. You know,
Yes.
where you gonna get all that game? You know what I'm saying? You could get it, but you got to be real assertive to get
Yes.
it yourself, and even understand that you need it. You need it. You need elders. You know,
You
like
know what I'm saying?
our community really needs to preach or teach our youth these, especially being black, man. You
Correct.
know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like walking outside it's a crime to some people. So you need to know that it's not. So you know people won't boss you around, like you said. People who know the law can control you if you don't. You know what
You
I'm
better believe
saying?
it.
So, yeah.
You better
Hmm.
believe it.
Yeah.
So, like, well, what's something you're doing now to protect your growth that you made mentally, emotionally, or financially? Like we talked about how our 18-year-old self is, we probably wouldn't even, I probably wouldn't have wrote this book at 18. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
But, now we're here. So, like, what are some of the things you're doing to protect that growth that you made mentally, emotionally, or financially?
Uh, you know what, bro? One of the biggest things for me is paying taxes.
Are
I
you
like,
doing that consistently now?
yeah, man. I mean, I have no shame in admitting I was just so rebellious growing up,
Right,
and I just didn't do it. You know,
right,
my account got levied a couple times, and
right.
I just didn't learn. And so, I just learned like, okay, this is the system that I'm in, whether I like it or not. If
Correct.
I haven't if I haven't made a move to change systems, then
Right.
I need to play the rules of the game because the way I'm playing, I could get my checks garnished, my bank
They'll
account
foul you
levied.
out.
Yeah, exactly. Foul me out, right? So I
They'll
gotta
foul
play,
you out.
right. And I think that it's I think that you just gotta know. You gotta
Yeah.
know the rules. If you know the rules, then you become accountable. You gotta be accountable to yourself, honest with yourself. So for me, like paying taxes, I don't really
Right.
have a lot of I don't have a lot of like legal protections outside of the box, but just like I learned the hard way of having a license,
Right.
maintaining insurance, you know.
Right.
Right.
Small things.
Yeah, small things, man. But
Right.
I had to be in my late 30s before I actually committed to having car insurance, man. I was just
Right.
rolling. So,
Rolling dirty. Huh? You was doing that millionaire, huh? Rolling dirty.
man, I was good at it. So
Right.
I knew how to just stay under the radar. You know, I'm, I don't attract no attention. I try not to, and I just try and stay legit. I got a job. I try and stay out of trouble, man. I'm scared of prison and jail. I don't want to go there, bro.
Bruh.
So I like the
Hey,
free world, man. So I'm gonna
correct.
do what I can to stay out.
Correct. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I don't
So
want.
then,
Mhm.
I was asking, so then what kind of legacy are you thinking about these days? You know what I mean? What is the legacy you live in? Whether that's your family, reputation, or your knowledge, like what kind of legacy are we thinking about these days? And if you
Man.
could go back and talk to your younger self about them consequences, what would you
Mhm.
say differently now that you read the book or you just grown and what I mean, we here now?
Well, let me answer the legacy question. It's funny you asked that because I once asked that at work. I just brought it up because I was thinking like black people, like we don't think about legacy. You
Right.
know what I was like? We just kind of think about like surviving, you know, and
We only are in survival mode. We have to, then that's what
right,
we have to be beyond that. And that's what I'm
right,
hoping this book can do.
right. Like I was
Mhm.
telling one of my peers, he had a living situation where it was like 800 a month, but it wasn't a real dwelling, didn't have a bathroom, and
Oof.
it was in the cut, and
Right.
he'd been there for like 15 years, just living out of water bottles type of thing, and
Uh,
just had his own little world there, but I'm
still,
like, but not yeah, exactly. So yeah, I forgot what I was about to say. But
it's all
uh
good.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I had another train of thought.
No worries, man. We can follow it. You know what I mean? Like I said,
Yeah,
what was
it'll
the
come back.
legacy? What kind of legacy are you
Oh, okay,
thinking
the
about? Whether
legacy.
that's the
And I was just
family?
telling him, I told him that it's a difference between surviving and thriving.
You better
You
believe it
know,
is.
when you
Yeah.
thrive, then you can have a legacy.
Right.
You survive,
You just got
you
today.
you just came and went.
Yeah. You
You
survived
know?
today.
Yeah, you survived today. Or even if you could survive a lifetime. And if
Now,
you never thrive, you'll never have the opportunity to leave a positive legacy. So I do believe in surviving and thriving. And thriving is, that's a generational change,
correct.
So my
You're
my
keeping it going, like you said, keeping it going for generation after generation.
right,
That's
right.
thriving.
That's
Surviving, like you said,
thriving.
the surviving is just like I say today. That could be a
Right,
lifetime. That could be just a moment in time. But when you
right,
like I said, when you thriving, I like that because when you thriving, we going and we going and we going. It's
right.
nonstop.
Look at yourself right now. Who are you? More importantly, who do you want to be? Every day you make choices. Every day you move. But are you really living or just existing? You were never meant to be stuck. You were never meant to just survive. You were built to build, to lead, to master. Enough. The difference between staying the same and leveling up is one decision. One moment when you say, no more. I refuse to stay here. 200 years from niggas to gods. The transformation starts now.
That's it. When you thrive, then you should have something to give back. You know
Right.
that it's a big difference, man. So, surviving is paying rent. Thriving is owning property.
Correct. I like that. I like that. That's easy right there for you to understand too, because there's nothing coming from that paying rent.
Nothing.
You
And
you
yeah,
when you move, your money's gone. But
right,
when you buy that property, when you gone, you can leave it to your family, and they can still benefit or thrive in that
thrive.
situation. They can be set up
Exactly.
for to be thriving. I like that. I like that.
Exactly, dude. So
So
yeah.
I did throw two questions at you, but if you
Oh,
could go back and talk to your younger self about self consequences, what would you say differently? What would you tell yourself? What would we say to our 18-year-old Kenneth?
man, I would tell myself to take more risk
Hmm.
legally,
I
but
would say, what
like
kind of
like
risks are
like
those? Are we not talking about jumping off buildings or robbing
no,
banks?
but
Are we?
but like getting property,
Right.
at a young age because when we're 20, 21, even 25, a house, the same house that costs like $250, 250,000 cost $1 million now. You know what I'm
Right. 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 Right.
saying?
Right. Right.
like, hey man, just go for it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Straight up.
trust yourself that it's gonna work out, and do
Right.
what you gotta do to maintain. Even if I failed,
Right.
with that, I would just
That,
have the game and the experience to do it again or do it better. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
mean,
just like
that's all. That's all
Mhm.
experience does.
That's
You know,
exactly it. So
you
get
know
that
what I mean?
experience early.
Correct. I like that. I mean,
Hmm.
because I mean, again, that's what I mean. If we had learned the law a whole lot, you know what I mean,
Right,
earlier in life at the 18, instead of it, learning it through trial and error and really just
hmm
focused in on learning it, I
right,
definitely believe we as a community, if we all start that, we would be in a whole different place. I mean,
Right.
because we just would know how, like you say, you can't search my car right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
You will need to call your supervisor because we
Right.
ain't detaining me right now. Just
Right.
those things right there. And I mean, that's very important, I believe, because you do believe like without legal mastery, all of that is fragile. Anything you built is
Right.
fragile without knowing the laws. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, I think that's why I put in the book. As long as we can maintain the laws and understand them to the fullest, backwards and forwards,
Mhm.
that penal code. And again, like I said, it's not about becoming no
Right.
lawyer. We ain't
Right.
trying to be, send you through law school, but
Right.
just in doing the things that you do, like you say,
Mhm.
buying a house, knowing real estate law backwards and forwards before you sign and stuff. Understand what you signing and doing those
Right.
things. And I think that, when we do those things and understand it, we can no longer be looked at as niggas and we can be looked at as gods. And,
Right.
stuff like that, that'll be one thing in the toolbox.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, man. And like
Yeah,
that whole legal mindset is very vast. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Because we could, like you said, we could talk about getting pulled over. Can the car be searched? Are
right,
you being detained? Or, or it could be like taxes. You
right.
know what I'm saying? Or
Straight up.
or
No,
or
100%.
contracts, but just having the mindset to be legally aware of everything, knowing that hey, I'm in a
That you're
public, you
doing
can't remove me
everything that
from a
you're
public
doing.
place. Right. Everything you're doing, man.
Yeah.
Everything you're doing, man. You
Know the
know?
legalities of it.
Yeah, everything. And just to be aware.
Yes.
Even if it's a new legal situation, if it could, just to be aware that it is. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
If it'd
Something
be
that I learned
lovely.
today. I don't know if you know. If it
Okay.
wasn't today, something that I learned. Did you know that if you have a brown paper bag like from a store,
Hmm.
and the police detain you, that they can't go in that brown paper bag? That's like your bag.
Oh wow.
That's like your, like if it was your duffel bag.
Huh.
They can't
Really?
go, like of course if they can see in it, whatever, all that stuff, but just hey, like, no, you can't go in that bag. That's my
Right.
bag.
Right. And they probably know that because, like, especially young kids, man, they need to know that a police is going to be very manipulative to get
Believe
in
it.
your bag. They gonna
Yeah.
come. And they probably, and we know they know that, and they'll do something real slick. They be like, "Oh, this your bag? Can I look in it?" You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
You mind if
Just
I look in it? You like, oh
yeah,
no, go ahead.
exactly,
Right.
man. So
Yeah.
I think it will really behoove our community to make sure that, especially our brown black brothers, man, know these basics because it's dangerous. I noticed between like 18 and like 25, it's almost like anything can happen with you and the police.
Right.
And so to know your rights is golden, man. You might be able to save
Believe
your life.
believe that.
Right. It's us against them. Shoot.
Straight up.
It is.
Man, this was a real one, Kim, and I appreciate you for showing up and engaging this work with your whole mind, man. I appreciate you coming through, man.
Right. Man, I really wanted to applaud you for, just completing such a project that is self empowering. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I kept thinking like,
Thank
man,
you.
I wish I had something like this. Like could I have been able to absorb this game? But whether I could have or not, I really do think that our youth need to be exposed to this. Like I'm gonna expose my son to this. I got a 15-year
Yes,
old,
sir.
and I'm
Please.
like, this would be good for him to see. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want him to like really read this. I don't know if he's ready yet, but this is almost like a boy's. This is like a rites of passage type of discourse, man. And I think that is lovely
Man,
that you
thank you,
packaged
man.
it, bro. I mean, I really do. Because for me, when I was in high school, my most influential books I read were in high school.
Right.
It's like I went through college, English major, read hella books and stuff, but the ones that really impressed upon me, I read in high school. So I
Your
don't know
mind formulating at that time still.
exactly. So this would be a
Yeah.
great ingredient to
Right.
add to the mix, man. So
Right. Just to
you
get
know,
it in there,
yeah.
I think there's some guidelines that your book, from title of the book, I really wrote it for my people so that you can know
Mm.
someone looks like you is for you, but I do truly believe that anyone can benefit from the lessons in it. And so
Right.
any high schooler, any man, woman, or child can read it and reap benefits from these lessons in here because it's just about self-mastery, self-transformation, accountability. And again, what we're talking about is learning the law. Again,
Learning the law.
not to be no lawyer, not to go
Right.
to law school, but just
No.
to do and be aware of the things that you are doing in your life. Get
Right.
to know what you're doing completely. Make sure you legally sound in what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. I agree, man. I
yeah.
agree, man. Do you have any plans on future books?
Yeah, well, I might do a revision because there's two things in here that I didn't touch on that I do want to touch on that I've been asked about, which was what was the importance of the 200 years?
Mm-hmm.
The importance of the 200 years, and really that's like everything is broken down in kind of 50 years. That first 10 years is really about understanding you, and then I really felt like 50 years covers two generations. And if two generations will get solid in each of those things and we build on those two generations, it gets it's solid.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I mean? It's
Okay.
solid, and that's where the 200 years come from. So if I did write another book, it would be about just to revise it. I don't have any plans right now. This was, my contribution to society and my community, and I wanted to get it out there. The next thing that I'm trying to do is I'm gonna do a math course. I was always good at math, so I'm gonna try to do a math course. That's the next
Okay.
thing lined up for my people, so that I can get my people educated in math, not so afraid of mathematics. I want them to be, it's going to be practical math. I'm not trying to do no calculus or nothing like that, but I want you to be able to go into a grocery store and, if something is
Right.
20% off, 30% off, you know how to
Right.
do it in your head. You
Right. Real
know,
basic, man. I
yeah,
mean, it really this is really just self-education.
correct,
You know what I'm
correct.
saying? I went to buy some food the other day. I moved to Vallejo. I bought a house in Vallejo. They don't have
Okay.
a lot of good restaurants or nothing out here. But I saw a Caribbean spot and I ordered 3 items and the bill was like $38.
Right. I
And I
don't
was like, hold
understand that
on.
yet.
I said that. I said, and the prices was right there, but I added it up and I was like, hold on, this would be like 29 plus tax.
Right.
And I don't think the girl was trying to get me, but she was like, oh, my boss keeps telling me to add it up, then put another 9 point whatever, and then put tax. I'm like, I'm paying tax on
On
two
tax.
things. It's like I'm paying tax on tax. So and then she like when I broke it down, she was like, damn, but I couldn't help but think that someone not able to do basic mathematics. I didn't even pull
Correct.
out a calculator. I could just know with my common sense, my
Correct. 13
common
plus
sense
14 is
calculator.
only 27.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm like, all right, but I kept thinking there's a lot of people that probably just flew
Got.
right by. They try to
Yeah, the
get me for like
got.
an extra $7.
Right.
It's like, nah, nah.
No, not even an extra
So
two. You know what I mean? Not even an
not
extra
even an
two right
extra
now.
two, man. Right,
Right
right.
on,
Nah,
man.
there's a 7-Eleven near my house, and sometimes I used to go in there and be like, let's say something's like 2.99, give him $3, and he'll just be like, all right, thanks. I'm like, where's my penny?
Yeah, I'm no, yeah, please.
Yeah, like how many times
Please.
you did that? And then one day he got mad and just like threw me like 5 or 6 cents, like a nickel, a penny, a dime. He's like, it don't matter. And I'm like, nah, it does matter.
It do matter. And
It do matter.
let me tell you what I tell them every time when I say that. You know what I tell them? Every penny counts.
Every penny counts. Yeah,
Every penny counts in my book, and this business got too much money for me to be giving you my penny.
right. And if he do that every day for 10 years, how much is
Come
that
on.
shit?
Come on. And I tell them, man, I got children. So that penny is going into the penny bank.
Right, exactly. I save those too. All right,
Right.
man. Keep me in the loop, man. What you doing? And I don't mind supporting you, man. I want to see, I just want to keep witnessing the journey.
So if
Uh,
you are watching this and you haven't tapped in yet, please get the collector's edition of 200 Years from Niggas to Gods, a guide to becoming a mature nation. You'll get the ebook, the audio book, and the artwork. The original soundtrack. It's the full toolkit to moving smarter and building something that lasts. So peace, black people. We are important. We are worth supporting. Right on,
Peace.
Ken.
Okay, Niamke.
Right on. Peace.